So I definitely want to start this out by saying that the Hasbro team knocked it out of the park with affordability. This is a very good deal. This is a great priced action figure line with a bunch of characters in this wave I really cared a lot about. I'm completely lying right now. I'm going to get spicy. Hey YouTube, what goes on? Welcome back to Disavowed Action Figures. Tonight, bringing you a Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure build and talk. I say talk and not necessarily review because I have a lot to say about this, more than I typically would when it comes to a Marvel Legend, and frankly, this might be the final time I build a Build-A-Figure. But before we get to that, if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you. It does not cost you anything and helps us grow the channel tremendously. March to 9,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications because that way YouTube should notify and tell you when we post new content here to the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out for Instagram at Disavowed_12. Let's build this thing and talk. So as it said in the thumbnail, this very well might be the last time I build a Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure at retail price, because retail price is out of friggin' control. I got all 6 figures needed to build this Build-A-Figure for $29.99 a piece at GameStop. Didn't even buy the Wolverine because I didn't need the Build-A-Figure piece because he doesn't have one, all right? Ridiculous. Again, I get it. We talk about price all the time. Everybody talks about it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But $29.99 is insane. And it wasn't just GameStop. I saw some of these figures from this wave on Amazon for that price. There probably were better ways and better deals to find them. However, absolute insanity. And also, I believe, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure this wave is not going to be at Walmart or Target. It's like Amazon fan channel sort of places, which typically means it's harder to get them on a clearance or on a sale. So yeah, if you played a long game, it could happen. If you watch my toy hunts and reviews, you know I'm a big long game guy, but it's rare I come across an entire wave, all the figures needed to build a figure. And when I do tend to splurge and pick them up. So again, getting this Executioner in hand wasn't exactly planned. It kind of just happened. I didn't really think I'd find it before the end of the year, but we did. I had nothing pre-ordered for it, so it was just a matter of deciding whether or not I wanted it. So yeah, there's that. The price thing is insane. And again, it's all things. I get that, but it's just really, and it hurts more, I think, when it's in person. When you do it online and click a button, it's one thing. When you actually have to scan your card in person and see what the receipt looks like right away, it definitely stings. So that's one reason why it might be my final Build-A-Figure. Second reason is character selection for this wave. Now, here's the thing. I get it. Everybody who's a collector likes certain characters, wants certain figures to complete teams. It is what it is. I understand all that stuff, okay? Not everything's for everybody, but it's rare that an entire wave isn't for me, and I can give a crap about anybody on this cross-sell. Out of all of them, maybe the Wolverine I would care the slightest amount about, but it doesn't even come the Build-A-Figure piece. So going through really quickly, we get another friggin' Iron Man that I don't want, don't need. I don't know what it's even from. If you build a hollow armor, it's great for you. I have no need for it. 6-armed Spider-Man isn't even my view of the Dark Avenger Spider-Man. So yeah, don't need him whatsoever. Warbow, okay, Crystar was kind of cool. I don't even own it. I like the design. All Warbow is just Crystar with some stuff slapped on it. So that's, again, reuse. Then, again, don't get me going on Werewolf by Night. Cool head portrait, but after that, it's just, again, a Frankenstein of a reuse. And I understand that that's what Marvel Legends does, but, I mean, come on. For the price we're getting it for now, do a pinless. Do something special with it, right? Give us another alternate head. I don't know. Give us something, okay? As far as Enchantress goes, I get it. She goes along with the Executioner for Asgardians, but she has those stupid heels on. She can't even stand right. You gotta put a stand underneath her. And I'm done buying action figures, these female figures, that can't stand on their own without a stand or leaning them. It's ridiculous. And then finally, Phantom Rider looks cool, but I might have even more fingernail paint on my fingernails right now than he has on his entire figure. And needless to say, there's nothing on my fingernails. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care about any of these characters. If you do, I'm happy for you. I don't. So I just feel like I'm not getting any bang for my buck. And on top of that, I'm having to buy figures to Build-A-Figure at a too high of a price. And it's a bunch of characters I don't even want. So I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I tend not to get too negative and whine too much on the channel. I know I'm whining right now, so I apologize if that triggers anybody. But again, there's your cross-sell. There's where all the pieces go from each character. The Wolverine also was there. I left that behind, maybe on a clearance, but like I said, it's hard to find them on clearance. So there's my 2-minute and 10-second diatribe on why this might be my last Build-A-Figure at retail price. Now let's build this guy. We'll compare this with our action figures, and then I'll shut up so you can get out of here. So I didn't want to mess up my little display here. I really couldn't fit this on there. So the axe came out looking really good, actually. It's not really gummy or anything. It's actually pretty solid of a piece, which is nice. Again, the handle, you got some good paint down here. This looks good as well. So again, the weapon is fine. It's a nice size, looks good. It's not junky or gummy or anything. That's a pretty good accessory right there. As we start to mess this all up here, I'll take a closer look at the head sculpt before I even put it on the figure. Again, looks good. I like it. Looks very accurate. It looks like maybe here on the head for mine, they missed the mark a little bit. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can quite make that out on camera, but right here, it kind of isn't like really where it needs to be. It looks like there's a little ridge there that should have been colored. Other than that, with this side doesn't have that. Back looks okay. A bit of a smudge there on the top. Ears, everything else looks fine. Facial hair, eyebrows. The eyes came out good as well. So again, head sculpt looks fine. So yeah, that's okay too. And I guess you can call these final accessories. We do add an extra alternate set of hands. He comes with the punching hands on, whereas here we do get like a grabbing hand or a holding hand, which I'm guessing is going to hold the axe. We also get a little bit of paint in there on the hand. That looks pretty good there. And then back here, same thing with this hand. This is a more open kind of like a, I don't know, like you're grabbing somebody by the throat kind of hand. So they're not identical hands from what I can tell. So the thing about getting a Build-A-Figure, it always just, to me, feels like an event. It was, again, I've been collecting, I don't know, since 2017, something like that, getting back into it hardcore. And when I Build-A-Figure, whether it was on a clearance sale, long game, or I bought it fresh, like I did the Kingpin at GameStop. Actually, the Kingpin at GameStop is probably the last Marvel Legends entire wave that I bought to build a Build-A-Figure. So that's, do the math how long ago that was. So it's supposed to be an event. And I feel like in order for it to be fun and be an event, you shouldn't feel bad about it. I actually felt kind of bad about this, buying this at the price it was at. So I don't know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and see if we can build this guy. Again, I don't know if everything's going to pop on smoothly or not. I'm never sure until I actually just start kind of going at it here. So we're going to start off with our left leg. So we'll get the left leg on here. Hopefully it just pops on easily without being a big giant issue. Sometimes the legs of the Legends on the Build-A-Figures can be a pain in the butt. Like that last figure was at the Nemesis that came out earlier in the year. And by the way, this is also only the second Build-A-Figure that we got this year. This is only the second one. So it's almost like they're doing away with it on their own anyway. So, and that's kind of why I felt more pressured again to get it. Because it's like, if you're only going to put a couple out a year, and that's kind of like the most fun hook that a lot of these different figures had, this concept of a Build-A-Figure. So again, kind of only doing two, I kind of feel like almost obligated that I want to get them all. But then again, considering what I said earlier, it really makes me wonder if that's the right move. So I don't know. I do like the fact we do get a lot of deluxe figures that are very big. So hang on a second. Bruno, my dog's crying. So I think the real reason Bruno was crying is because I forgot to put him back here with his little French fry tray from McDonald's. By the way, that was a great little 2025 accessory inside those Happy Meals to get those trays if we managed to get any. But yeah, obviously Bruno, real dog. That's a little 3D printed Bruno, but okay, back to the review. Unboxing, whatever you want to call this thing. So got the legs in. So let's throw the arms on there. We'll do the left arm first. Again, it's just, like I was saying, it's an event when you put these things together. So there shouldn't be any kind of like hesitance or dirty feeling about it and whatever. It's not like it broke the bank, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, the thought behind it just kind of makes you go, huh, what am I doing with myself here? All right, so here we go. Let's pop this one on this side now. So other arm, if we can get that in there securely. Of course, I'm off camera trying to do this, and that's not too great. We were doing a video. It's not going in right. Come on, man. All right, so that went in okay. I just kind of like was awkwardly posed when I tried to put it in there. So like the arm, the bicep were like crooked. So I really couldn't pop it in directly the way it looked. So now he's a headless monster. So that, you know what that means. We have to go ahead and finish him up, get this head on here. So again, one thing I'm going to do, like I always do, are going to be plenty of comparisons. So any figure I can think of that you might want to see compared with this guy, I'll try to show you. So yeah, he looks good. He looks good. Now, $29.99 times 6. Does he look that good? I don't know. I don't know if he looks that good. If you are a hardcore Asgardian fan, then maybe it is. Anytime you're spending money, it's in the eye of the beholder, whether it's a good deal or not. I had somebody put a comment on my Instagram post, which made a lot of sense. If you take 7 and divide the $29.99, and do the math on that, it comes out to like $28 a figure. If you count this as one of them, obviously, that's just a lot of justification though. So again, it's up to you. It's your money. You let me know, is it worth it or not? All right, so I'd like to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm wrong. There's not 2 punching fists. So we have 1 punching fist here on the left arm. The right arm has the grabbing hand for the axe. I remember thinking to myself that this one definitely seemed way too open, and even this one seemed too open in order to hold an axe. So yeah, I didn't really notice that we get 1 punching fist, 1 fisted hand, and then 1 grabbing hand for the weapon to go into. So sorry about that. All right, quick look at articulation. Head will rotate all the way around in a circle. It will go down a little bit, not too much. It'll go up a little bit. I think if you go any further, it's going to pop off on you. No real tilt at all that I can tell with the head. Shoulder will go all the way around. Hopefully it won't pop out being a Build-A-Figure. It goes about to 90 up there. Upper bicep cut. We have a single jointed elbow. He has a big bicep, so really the double joint wouldn't have done much anyway. Hand rotates all the way around. Seems like the hand is on a left and right horizontal hinge. Let's see if this hand over here is up and down for the axe or not. And it appears to be up and down, I believe. Let's just pop it off and look. It's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, so they got that right. That is an up and down vertical hinge. So at least when he puts the axe in his hand, he'll be able to, wield it like similar to like a sword wielder or something like that. Otherwise, as far as it goes, I mentioned the hands. Legs are going to be on a double jointed pinless knee. It goes all the way back to his butt. That's kind of nice. As far as boot cut, there is none that I can tell. Obviously thigh cut, but that's from where you connected the leg. He will kick forward. This is a soft plastic, so he will kick forward about that far. He will kick back very little. You can kind of get him in a kind of walking pose, so that's fine. As far as the splits are concerned, splits about that far out. Foot goes down about that far. Foot goes up pretty darn far as well. It's also on the rocker. As far as torso, there is no waist cut. So you do get the torso up here. So this rotates very far. It'll actually go all the way around a circle if we want to. As far as how far to one side it's going to go, about that far to that side. About pretty far to that side. Forward and looking down. If you look down at shorter characters, about that. And as far back he's going to go, about that far back. So articulation does what it needs to do. Did he need like butterfly shoulder joints? Probably not. I mean, are they nice? Yeah, sure. Of course they are. But overall, not too bad in the articulation department, for a big guy especially. And here is the Executioner Build-A-Figure holding his giant axe. I don't know a lot about this guy. What I do know about him is probably from like watching Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Love that cartoon so much. I think he made appearances on there in the first season. Obviously, he was in the movies. Much different, version of him there, I would think, than it is here. But does his axe have a name? Like a lot of the weapons in Asgard have names, like Mjolnir and whatnot, Stormbreaker, all that good stuff. Is there a name for his axe? I didn't look it up. Let me know in the comments. But I know I probably already Googled it. But if you know, tell me down below. But yeah, he looks cool. I'm digging it. It's all right. The price thing, I'm going to keep harping on. It is what it is. So let's compare him to some other action figures that are Marvel Legends. And we'll kind of compare to some other waves and lines. And then we'll get out of here. So my apologies for having to move the camera around and change the angle up a little bit. We're going to have to do that for the bigger figures. So here is the Executioner Build-A-Figure as compared to the 2024 Deluxe Odin. I want to say Odin was like $60 retail, around there. I did play long game with him and got him right around, I think, Christmas season-ish on a sale at Target, so I saved some money on him. But again, you look at the tooling and the intricacy with a deluxe figure like this, obviously it's going to more or less put to shame a Build-A-Figure. But again, the problem is, with the Build-A-Figure, you're paying so much to get it. Yes, you're baking in getting 6 other figures or whatever as part of what your value is. But again, this thing is awesome for what it is and what it was. So yeah, just you kind of do the numbers game in your head on that one. And perhaps this is a comparison you want to see even before Odin, and that is the buck for Thor. So this is not the traditional Thor. This is the 80s Thor. I'm blanking on his name already anyway. However, you can see this is that basic buck that they use for Thor, at least until we get maybe a maximum Thor. They'll be very overpriced, but that hopefully gives us a soft goods wire cape. But you can see Executioner is just slightly taller than Thor. If you count, Thor's wings right there, he's about the same. But again, definitely the shoulders, as you can see right here, are higher than Thor. And another Asgardian character here is the Destroyer that came, I believe, with that same Thor. in the anniversary 2-pack from 3 or 4 years ago. This is an awesome action figure, and that was another one that got the Ollies. So this made it to Ollies. So that was wild finding that there. But again, rightfully so, he's much larger than Executioner. And another big chunky boy. Here is the Nemesis, our only other Build-A-Figure for 2025, I'm pretty sure. And just to somewhat correct myself, I said I don't always have the availability to purchase an entire wave of figures to build a Build-A-Figure. When it's online, it's a little bit different. I did get him through the CMD store, I believe it was, really darn early. So I got that whole wave in one shot and was able to build him super early. If you want to check that review out, I'll try to link it down below. But yeah, there's our two 2025 Build-A-Figures. Yeah, we got a deluxe, a lot of great deluxe stuff, don't get me wrong, but just call me a traditionalist. I like the Build-A-Figure idea. The deluxe idea is okay, but, you know, and of course the crowdfunding thing is something separate as well. It has lab stuff, whatever. But I like the Build-A-Figure thing. It makes me nostalgic for the hobby. And just because I love them so much, here is the Executioner Build-A-Figure as compared to one of those deluxe figures I've been talking about throughout the video, our Gamerverse Juggernaut. And since this really has been the year of Gamerverse for Marvel Legends, here is the Build-A-Figure as compared to the Psylocke from the Target exclusive Thanos Psylocke 2-pack and the Captain America from the Captain America and Venom 2-pack. And stepping away from Hasbro action figures, here is the Executioner Build-A-Figure as compared to Jada Toys, Guile, and Blanca. And as Asgard's basically like a fantasy genre in the Marvel Universe, let's compare to some fantasy-type figures. Here is the Beastman and the Fisto from the Masters of the Universe line. These were both clearance pickups. I can't really recall which line they were a part of. It was recent in the last 3 or 4 years. Keep in mind, I'm pretty sure that these are a 7-inch scale. I can't quite recall. You can let me know in the comments. So you can see Beastman, almost the same size here as what we have for the Executioner, and then Fisto a little bit smaller out of the 3. Also, just to point out, the fact that this made it to Ross is ridiculous. Look at how much stuff this dude comes with, even if that is, you know, bending. And here's the Executioner Build-A-Figure as compared to the big bad mother fragger himself, Lobo, from the Todd McFarlane DC Multiverse line. And again, remember, 7-inch scale, so 6-inch scale. There's a difference. And last, and as everybody loves to say, certainly not least, here is the 2025 second Marvel Legends Hasbro Build-A-Figure Executioner as compared to the Jazzwares AEW Unrivaled Orange Cassidy. And yeah, Orange, I would probably take the thumbs down back, or you might just chop off your entire arm. So closing thoughts on the Executioner Build-A-Figure, only the second one of 2025, I'm pretty sure, is it's good. It's good. I know I didn't go full-blown review and go over every, centimeter on this thing. I'm sure a lot of other people have. I didn't talk much about the boots looking good with the fur. Boots with the fur, it's a song, right? And then, of course, the silver going on here and there. And, it's, I like it. Again, I'm salty, I'm spicy over what it costed. I wasn't about to just try to do the long game with this one since it was all right there at my fingertips. But let me know in the comments below, for what this costs and for what they're doing now with deluxe figures and Build-A-Figures and made-to-order figures. Does this fit into what you think is a fair deal? And also, the other thing that kind of, worries me, I mentioned the reasons why I might be done buying Build-A-Figures, is they seem to reissue them all anymore. I feel like within 3 or 4 years, these big, chunky Build-A-Figures get re-released in some capacity. And again, it kind of doesn't feel as special, when you get something and then shortly thereafter it gets re-released. It is good for collectors, I understand that, who missed out or didn't pay the money for what it might have cost initially. But again, I might be my last Build-A-Figure. We'll find out. But thanks for watching. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you. It does not cost you anything. And it helps us grow the channel tremendously and march to 9,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications, because that way YouTube should notify and tell you when we post new content here to the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. If you're daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out over at Instagram at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 Ps of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, most of all politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.